Good afternoon, everyone. If we could have everyone take a seat, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Yep. Fantastic.
We'll just give it a couple minutes here so that the live stream can get up.
Are you guest here so we can fill in the front seat? Front row? Are you guest here so we can fill in the front row? Right there. Okay, so we're good. Good. Everybody's here that's supposed to be, so if people want to fill in the front seat. Okay.
There are some seats up front if anybody wants to come up and sit down. Or if everyone's okay. Aaron? Okay. I got the thumbs up. Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? Doing well, great. Thank you for joining us for this great occasion. I also want to thank President Evans for being here, John Burry for being here. Appreciate it, gentlemen. We're going to keep this kind of brief. We'll hear some prepared remarks from Richard Duran, from Coach Heirman, and from Coach Jackson. And then we'll open up to some questions for the coaches. If you want to catch Richard, he'll be around afterwards, after the press conference. That's it. We'll get started with Richard Duran.
All right. Thank you, Michael. On behalf of the University of the Incarnate Word, I would like to thank all of you for being here to welcome our new head men's basketball coach. Every decision we make in our athletic program, we make by putting our student athletes first and always keeping in mind the mission of the university. Our goal here at UIW is to always strive to be champions in the classroom, champions in the community, and champions in competition. Our men's basketball program has done both in the classroom and in the community. Now we take the next step in working towards winning a conference championship and representing UIW in the NCAA tournament. We spoke with coaches from across the country and at all different levels of basketball. At the end of the process, we were thrilled when Coach Shane Heirman accepted the opportunity to be our next head men's basketball coach. I would like to thank UIW President, Dr. Thomas M. Evans, and Chief of Staff John Burry for their leadership throughout the process. Thank you to the senior staff members who worked diligently to help us find our next head men's basketball coach. Finally, thank you to our student athletes for trusting us during this process. I am confident that under Coach Heirman's leadership, we will not only compete for conference titles, but we will continue program successes in the classroom and in the community. Please join me in officially welcoming Coach Shane Heirman.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to begin by extending my deepest gratitude to Dr. Evans, Vice President Burry, Athletic Director Duran. for entrusting me with the great responsibility of being the head basketball coach here. You could tell early on in the process that there was a unique institutional alignment between Dr. Evans and Athletic Director Duran that's uncommon. And so I feel very privileged to be able to work with them at such a great institution. I'd be remiss if I did not thank my wife, Claire. We recently, Thursday, gave birth to our second child, a boy, Cade. We have a daughter, Kennison. So it's been quite the whirlwind of a week. But luckily, fortunately for both of us, we come from great families and have had incredible love and support to help us get through this transition. But we are extremely excited to get to the San Antonio community and really immerse ourselves into UIW and San Antonio. I do want to acknowledge some special people. I played at the University of Tulsa, and I had the privilege of playing with some really, really good players. A couple that were from the San Antonio area, in Ben Uzo and Jordan Clarkson. And Ben is here today along with Jordan's parents. So I want to say thank you, and it means a lot for your support. I stand up here as a basketball coach, but it's much deeper than that for me. There's been a lot of people along the way that have had great influence on my formation, starting with my dad growing up and my high school coach, Tom Less, my college coach, Doug Wojcik, and then my professional experience with Alan Huss, Dave Lato, and Tony Barbee. These people have invested a great deal of time and energy into my formation, and I am deeply grateful for them. And in this process of moving myself and finding out about myself, I found my calling to a degree and the vocational aspect of this work. And they taught me a lot. You learn what sacrifice means. You learn what hard work means. But no greater lesson was than the power of relationships. And that's the cornerstone of any successful program, is you have to have great relationships. And so for me and my staff, that is the starting point. We have to invest heavily in people and make sure that they understand that there's a genuine, sincere care for them and for their development and growth. And once you can establish a trust and an understanding of someone's best interest at heart, and when they can believe that their goals and dreams become your dreams and goals, you start the process. And that's not something I can sit up here and really articulate. It's more something we have to dive into and really commit ourselves to. But once you've established relationships, you can start to think about the word culture. And for me, culture is cultivated by the head coach through his staff and trickles down to the players. And it's a difficult time to be a young person in the world right now. There's a lot of distractions and they're pulled in a lot of different ways. And so this space needs to remain their safe haven. This place needs to remain where they can turn. This place needs to be the best part of their day. We all got involved in athletics in some capacity for the joy, for the pure love of it. And that has to be at the forefront of what we're doing. And we get there through enthusiasm, energy, and competitiveness. And those are my three non-negotiables for the program. I want our staff deeply committed to enthusiasm every day. You know, the great quote of nothing of great substance was ever achieved without enthusiasm couldn't be more true. Every day we have to pour ourselves into these people and be excited about the work that we get to do. And then we have to have great energy. You know, there's always a constant decision every day in your life if you're going to be the Tigger or you're going to be the Eeyore. And we got to find those guys through recruiting and finding the right people that want to get outside their comfort zones and want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And then we got to find competitors. This is a win-loss deal. And we got to find people that want to get after it and want to compete and want to win. And the way we kind of cultivate that within the program is everything we do. There's a winner and there's a loser. And that kind of drive helps establish it. And then from there, I want our players to have fun. I think it's a really underrated word. And fun in the pure sense of joy, but then fun takes on a different meaning for me, a little bit of an acronym. I want our players to play with freedom. I don't want them looking over at me. I don't want them thinking they're coming out when they make a mistake. This game's not played to perfection. There is going to be mistakes, and our job is to prepare them to handle challenges, to challenge them every day, and to handle adversity when it comes. I need them to play unselfishly. That's the U. I need them to care about each other. I need them to invest in being a great teammate. I need them to make the right play for us, not for them. And then the last piece of fun for me is I need them to be nasty. I need nastiness out there. I need competitors. I need grit. Because if you're going to get through this, I mean, it takes a great deal of toughness to do it. You know, Mike Tyson's got a great quote that everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the face. And sports is played that way. We can create a game plan. We can X and O this thing to death. But there's no substitute for will. There's no game plan to outwill. So that's going to be part of our goals is to really establish that. And I feel really fortunate that in our time at La Lumiere, I got to know a gentleman, Jaron Jackson. And as I talk about the pillars of the program and the foundation of the program that we have a vision for, he embodies everything that I'm talking about. He did it as a player. He does it as a person. And to be able to have him on this journey with me is really awesome. And I'm so thankful. Obviously, his contributions to this community were really significant. And I'm excited for him to dive back in. You know, we've already had a couple days in town, and it's amazing how many people come up to him and say hello. And he's got his ring that he wears with pride. So really excited to get in the trenches again with him and get to work. I have another gentleman, Ben Lang, who's been with me throughout my time at DePaul in Central Michigan. That is just, again, a relentless worker that embodies you know, what we're trying to establish here. I'll close it out by saying that this is a great responsibility, and I feel very privileged and blessed to have this opportunity, and it's one that I don't take lightly. And to whom much is given, much is expected, and I feel very confident that you guys can expect to have a very high standard of excellence with our men's basketball program. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Coach Jackson, would you like to come up and say a few words?
All right. Only a few words. It's wonderful to be back in San Antonio. This is going to be an incredible journey, and I'm so happy to be a part of Coach Shane's staff. He's on the rise as a young coach in this business, and to have this step for him, I'm very happy for him. His vision, I'm just to be a small part of his vision for basketball here at Incarnate Word. I'm truly blessed. I've always looked at the game myself as a player and as a coach, as a game, as he mentioned, a game of grit, a game of nastiness. We did a little bit of that with the Spurs for some of you guys who remember those old days. But I'm just glad to be back and be a part of his journey. And I'm going to do whatever I can to drive and motivate these young guys to pursue their dreams of not only being a part of this place academically, but I truly understand their vision towards getting the most out of basketball. And it's a blessing for me as a former player and a coach to have such an impact on young men. And I'm obligated to do that as a coach. I think this is the greatest way to impact young people. And to do it here at Incarnate Word, it would be a continued blessing for me. And to do it under Shane's leadership and his vision, man, it'll be just like winning a championship. So, and I think you guys understand. I know that's what he wants. So, yes, expectations will be high for a lot of these young men. For us as well, winning is definitely a priority. But I also understand that these young men want to go further along in great places after being here. They're going to call us about their own journey, same journey I've had, and I'm continuing to have. We all have as former athletes. We're going to call our coach, and up one day they call me and call Coach Shane, of course, and to tell us their experience at Incarnate Word on the men's basketball team was incredible. Thank you so much. It has led me to maybe perhaps making money playing pro basketball, perhaps, or getting a quality job in San Antonio or all across the country. You know, so I'm looking forward to those opportunities here and on his staff. So Coach Shane has a great vision. It was a pleasure to meet him. I was blessed to introduce my son to him at Lalamere. And he recruited him like he's going to recruit many of the guys. So that was just the beginning of his journey. And the rest of his journey, when it comes to him and my son, is history. For those of you guys who don't know, my son plays in the NBA. He's doing some of the things that I did as a player with the Spurs. He's just doing it in another town, not too far from here in Memphis. So, so he's giving me permission to be here. But I'm just glad to be a part of this journey, and I'm looking forward to working with Shane, Ben, and all the rest of the staff that's here. Man, thank you so much, guys. I love Incarnate Word. I still remember my days practicing here. For those of you guys, I remember for a lot of young folks in here. So the Spurs practice here before they had their practice facility. So imagine that. So now I get to walk back on the same court. I'm not necessarily going to be wearing the practice gear, and Spurs stuff, but I look forward to wearing Incarnate Word stuff. So with that in mind, I don't have any more to say. Congratulations, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Can open it up to questions? So if anybody's got anything for Coach, we're going to have both coaches in the back, guys. I'm looking at my friends in the media. We'll be in the back to answer your questions back there. So if we want to just wait till we do that. Okay, we'll wait till we do that then. So that's it for now. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.